Hi, Milo. You know what's happening, don't you? Yeah. We're having a 24-hour readathon. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you couldn't tell, it is late at night right now. It is a little bit after midnight. I just woke up from like a 4.5 hour nap for prep for this because I'm doing a 24-hour readathon fall edition. I originally was gonna do just like cozy fall reads and make it super fun and cute. I'm not in the mood for that anymore. And what's making it a fall edition is just reading all fall or fall adjacent books. So that's cozy fall romances, thrillers, fantasies, all that jazz. That's just because I really want to be fully engulfed in the fall vibe and the fall season. And since we are officially in September, we're in the Burr months, it is fall, so this has to be a fall edition, even though it's literally still like 90 degrees outside right now, but you know, that's fine. So obviously, you guys know the drill. This video basically consists of two different challenges. One, me staying up for 24 hours straight and not going insane, and then reading as many books as possible in those 24 hours. Yeah. So I think with all that being said, I'm gonna pick out my first book, then we're gonna get the timer rolling, and we're gonna get to reading. Let's get into it. So for a little bit of an update, I am almost 2 hours into my 24-hour readathon, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not at the point where I feel like getting an Alani or anything like that, so I'm gonna hold off as long as I can on drinking any energy drinks or caffeine, just to try and do this the healthiest way possible. Staying up for 24 hours isn't healthy at all, but you know what I'm saying. I am on page 75 in The Silent Patient. I did get up a couple of times just to get like a blanket, a pillow, and these Sweet Tarts ropes that are now gone. But so far, I'm really enjoying The Silent Patient. I'm very intrigued on what's going to be happening here because I'm already really enjoying the build up to everything and learning everyone's backgrounds and just kind of getting the gist of everything going on in, I guess it's like a psychiatric hospital. So really enjoying this, definitely keeping my attention. I'm also a big fan of books with really short chapters, and every single chapter in this book is so short, which makes it a lot easier for me to be like, okay, I'll just keep reading. I'll just keep going. I'll read like one more chapter. It's like that mentality, and it's just really helping keep me awake and alert. So that's good. Also, I restarted Gilmore Girls just because it is such a comfort show, and I feel like that is the perfect show to have in the background while I'm doing this challenge. It's very interesting though to be reading this while that's going on in the background. They're not matching up, but I'm still having a good time. So anyways, it is 2:18 a.m. and I'm surprisingly okay. I'll probably get an Alani in just a little bit just to go ahead and start some caffeine because it does take a little bit for it to hit. And I don't want to get to a point where I'm like dozing off when I grab the Alani because it might be a little too late at that point. Anyways, y'all don't care. Anywho, that is my update. 2 hours in, feeling good, kind of. Let's keep going. So I am at 16 hours and 48-ish minutes left in this challenge. And I'm starting to feel really tired. But I did finish my first book, The Silent Patient. I get it. I only got up a couple of times to like get something to drink or like grab a blanket or something like that. But I was pretty engulfed the entire time. I will say that I got to a point around like 4 or 5 a.m. that I would read a chapter and then I would watch some of Gilmore Girls for maybe 5 minutes or something. But that was only for a little bit. So I slowed down a smidge, but in the last 100, 150-ish pages, nothing could distract me, honestly. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go make coffee, I'm gonna pick out my next read, and we'll get to reading again. I just need a little bit of an eye break for like just a couple minutes so I can make my coffee, and then we'll get right back to it. So let's do that. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half since I last updated. I have about 15 hours and 18 minutes left, as you can see here. I'm feeling surprisingly okay. I literally chugged this cup of coffee and now I feel like I have some life in me. Like I feel like I've gotten over the initial hump. I don't know if the beginning of this was the hardest part or if it's going to be more difficult this evening, because usually I go to sleep around 9, maybe 10 if I'm feeling wild, but I have to stay up till like 12:30 and that's going to be a huge struggle for me. So that might be the hardest part. I don't know yet. I don't want to think about it. But I'm over the first initial hump. I feel like I'm fine when the sun is out because I feel awake, just a little slow. So kind of my strategy going into this was, since I was starting at night, I wanted to have something that would be fast-paced, maybe a little spooky, something that would keep my attention and keep me awake and like encourage me to keep reading and maybe spook me a little bit. And so Silent Patient, that worked out pretty good, in my opinion. I was not very groggy or anything when I was reading that, surprisingly. I was kind of shocked with how okay I was. I'm definitely jinxing myself right now. Okay, that did its job, and now I get to just do cutesy little reads for a while, and we'll see how it goes. The thing about these 24-hour readathons, I've done one other before this one. In the moment, it feels like there's not a ton of time to read, especially during the day. Like at night, it feels like it never ends just because I'm not used to being up at night. But during the day, I'm like, oh, it's almost over. No, girl. You still got 15 hours left. It's like a mental weirdness. I don't know. Do y'all know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I know what I'm saying. But anyways, I started The Dead Romantics and I am on chapter 5, page 44. It's cute so far. We haven't really gotten into much yet, so we'll see. But I wanted to talk to y'all for just a little bit because before now, I did not feel like a functioning human being. And I just wanted to chit chat for a second because I haven't really had the opportunity or the energy or the ability to form sentences and words in a way that made sense until now. So if everything before this point in the video has just been gibberish, my apologies. Sleep deprivation. I am going off of about 3 hours of sleep right now, so yeah. Why did I do that facial expression? I'm sorry, but it is currently 9:14 a.m. and I'm starting to get a little hungry. So I think I'm going to fix some food, like a little bit of a snack, and then get back into reading. I will say at like 5 a.m. I had this craving for frozen pizza. I didn't do it, but just know I wanted to. The most random craving. Actually, no, it wasn't that random because there's a scene in Gilmore Girls. Rory makes a frozen pizza for Emily and Richard and sprinkles Parmesan on top of it, and they end up loving it. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds really good right now. And then I had to remind myself, Lauren, it is 5 a.m. It's time for breakfast, not for frozen pizza right now. Not saying that frozen pizza can't be breakfast because I 100% did that in college. Anyways, so I'm gonna go and fix myself something to eat, snack on while I continue reading. Yeah, that's how we're feeling right now. Also, my little bookmark, it's an ACOTAR bookmark, but the blue matches the people on the cover. So it's kind of matching. It's cutie, right? I think so. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna stop yapping and I'm gonna go fix some food and then we're gonna keep reading. Alrighty, so I just finished The Dead Romantics. This was definitely that was really aggressive. This was definitely a very cute and wholesome read, and I had a really good time reading this, but full reviews at the end of this video as usual. So now I believe we're going to pick our third and final book for this challenge. I've got a little over 8 hours left in the 24-hour challenge, and that's enough time for me to just start another book. I don't think I'm going to be able to start and finish it in that amount of time, but I'll get a good amount through it. I've already been thinking about this a little bit, and I think I know what I want to do. I looked up a couple of reviews, and I think this is the move. I think I'm gonna do Heartless Hunter. I've heard amazing things about this book. Majority of the reviews and what I've heard about this book is people say that they are hooked from like the very beginning, and I need that going into the last part of this challenge. So I'm gonna read this, but I'm gonna read it on my Kindle because it's on Kindle Unlimited, so why wouldn't I? Also, I'm really tired of holding physical books. I've just been holding physical books all day and I need a Kindle break, so this is the plan. I'm gonna go make myself some dinner and then we will start the final book for this challenge. I'm so excited. Okay, let's go. For a second. First things first, time. I've got about 4 hours and 19 minutes left. It is 8:06 p.m. and I'm starting to get a little sleepy. It is now dark outside and my brain is like, girl, you want to go to sleep right now. But also, I don't want to go to sleep because I want to keep reading this. They weren't kidding when it's like you get hooked from the very beginning. There is no buildup. It's just you are thrown into it, y'all. I'm having such a good time. This was definitely the right choice for this point because even though I'm tired, I'm really motivated to stay awake to continue reading this. So I went into this book completely blind, right? As I do for most books. And I did not realize that this was going to be like enemies to lovers trope. Even though I just noticed that on the front, it literally says her deadliest enemy or her greatest love. I guess when I say that I go in blind, I don't even look at the cover. So I didn't know that. Anyways, the tension from the beginning is like, I can feel it. You can cut it with a butter knife. And there are just some quotes in this book that I'm just like, how are you coming up with this? And if you were to watch my face and my reactions as I'm reading this book, you'd probably be like, oh, she's having an okay time. Y'all, I'm sleep deprived right now. If I was fully energized, I would be kicking my feet, giggling, squealing, jumping up and down, like I'd be doing all the things. But the most that you're getting from me right now is just like a facial expression of just like smiling, and that's pretty much it. But on the inside, I'm losing my mind. But according to my Kindle, I have 6 hours and 52 minutes left in this book, and I only have 4 hours and 15 minutes left now. More than likely, I'm not gonna finish this tonight, but I'm 100% gonna be able to finish this tomorrow at least because it's so good. I'm already invested. I am 27% of the way through on chapter 15. Hold on, what page is that? That is page 109 right now. So that is my little update. I'm just gonna keep on reading. I don't know if I'm gonna give any more updates until the challenge is over because we're in the home stretch, y'all. We're less than 5 hours away from completing this challenge. And I gotta say, in what I've done so far, this has definitely been easier than my last 24-hour readathon, just because I was struggling so hard in the early morning hours last time. But I don't know, the midnight to midnight, it's kind of working for me. I might try different times and like future readathons, but this midnight to midnight deal, not too shabby as of right now. Just watch me. I come back in like 30 minutes and be like, I'm dying. We'll just see. Anyways, I'm going to hop back in to Heartless Hunter and I'll see y'all when I see you. The alarm was on mute. Okay, we're gonna talk tomorrow. We did it. So my second 24-hour readathon was a success. I am still dealing with the consequences of my decisions, but worth it, maybe? I don't know. I definitely think I had an easier time with this 24-hour readathon than my last one. I don't know fully why, but midnight to midnight just worked for me for some reason. I don't know. But let's do a little rundown of everything we read. Let's do some reviews, some ratings, and a total page count. So the first book that I read in this challenge was The Silent Patient. I really enjoyed this book, and I definitely think that this was the right move for me to start off this challenge. It was super fast paced, super engaging, very entertaining. So we're following a psychotherapist and his name is Theo, and he's trying to understand the case behind a woman named Alicia who one day murdered her husband and now she doesn't speak. And this book is from his perspective, trying to figure out what happened, but also trying to figure out why she's not speaking. And when I tell you, everyone in this book sketched me out. Everyone in this book sketched me out. But at the same time, I didn't guess the plot twist at all. It could have been that I was also reading this at like the super early morning hours, but still, it got me. I gave this book 4 stars. I thought it was super entertaining, super fun, and I'm glad that I finally know what the hype is about this book because I get it. The second book I read was The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. In this book, we're following Florence, and she's a ghostwriter, and her family owns a funeral home. Fun play on words, ghostwriter, funeral. There's a lot of talk of death in here, if you couldn't tell from the cover. Florence has to go home because her father suddenly passes away, and while she's home, she sees a familiar face, but in ghost form, and that is her editor, Ben. And basically, this is just a love story between Florence and Ben. I thought this was super cute and definitely a fun read. There were just some things that just rubbed me the wrong way with some of the characters. I can't put my finger on it. I really can't. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was super cute and super fun. I gave this book 3.5 stars. It definitely got the fall vibes down, and it was a really cute story. The banter was cute, and there were some really, really sweet moments in here. So definitely recommend. Was not my fave, but still had a really good time. And then the last book that I picked up for this challenge, started it, didn't finish it, is Heartless Hunter. Y'all, this seriously had me hooked from page 1. There's just always something happening in here, and it's so entertaining. We're following a girl named Rune, and she is a witch. She has this ruse going on in her community that she is an informer for turning in witches, but in fact, she's trying to save all the witches against all the witch hunters. And she is known as the Crimson Moth to those witch hunters, but none of them know her identity, and she's wanting to find out all the information on where all the witches are located so that she can go and save them before the witch hunters get to them. And then there's a lead witch hunter, the deadliest and most dangerous witch hunter, Gideon, and he's trying to find out who the Crimson Moth is. And each of them think that the other one is going to be their best bet on getting what they want. And basically it's like an enemies to lovers fake dating kind of trope, but neither one of them knows that the other one is faking for sure. It's so good, and I am thoroughly entertained, and I definitely think I'm gonna sit down and read the rest of this today. But let's do a little bit of a page count for how much I read during the challenge. Silent Patient is 323 pages. Dead Romantics is 345. And then I got to page 235 in Heartless Hunter, which brings our grand total to 902 pages read in 24 hours. I'd say that's a pretty good page count, if I do say so myself. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, whatever it is for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!